was a criminal act for the president of Nigeria to forge her signature on the certificate he is parading. Dr. Daniel said in a document that she has finalized her papers to sue Tinubu but is only waiting for this institution to release his academic records to the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, on Monday, as directed by the District Judge Maldonado, before storming the court for her suit against Tinubu. The former Chicago State University president said she did not sign the controversial certificate which Tinubu presented to INEC during his nomination process last year, noting that she was not even a staff of the institution until 19 years after the certificate was forged. Daniel wondered how she could sign a certificate which was allegedly issued in 1979 when she actually began work at the institution in 1998. She said her plan to press a criminal charge against Tinubu was a result of the pressures by her family, friends, and associates to clear her name from allegations in the media that she was bribed by the embattled Nigerian president to sign the forged TSU document. She pressed further in the document that she never had any student by that name, Tinubu, throughout her stay as the president of the Chicago State University. Mr. Darlington, good afternoon and welcome to the World News at 12, right here in Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
Good afternoon, Esther. How are you?
I am fine. Happy Independence to you, Mr. Darlington. We must say happy Independence to Nigeria.
Same to you, even though there is nothing happy about it.
Well, there's nothing we can do. We just have to celebrate our independence. Okay, let's start off with this particular scenario where the supposed Nora Daniel, the controversial Nora Daniel, who definitely, as we do know, was said to have been the one to file the documents that was tendered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's legal team. Apparently, as it is at the moment, she is saying that she intends to sue the president. Rather, she's waiting for the school to tender the academic records of the president to Atiku Abubakar today. Judge Nancy Maldonado, as of last night, we heard that she had asked the court, the United States court, to issue the academic records being asked by Mr. President, and that Mr. President should not file any appeal anymore in her court. She's saying that it has no local standard, neither does it have any merit, considering the appeal that was tendered by Atiku Abubakar's legal team and the purpose for which the former vice president said he was tendering that. Well, today we are hearing right now that this proposed Nora Daniel, who was the secretary at the time or supposed president at the time of the CSU, that is Chicago State University, is saying that she has never heard anyone of that name. She's also saying that that is alleged forgery, and she is going to file a suit against him. I want to read out to you what she said she was going to do. She said that she does not know anyone of that particular name and that she is waiting for the release of the records to the Atiku Abubakar legal team. She is also saying that for her at this particular moment, considering the circumstances prevailing on ground, that she would at any point in time did not sign the controversial certificate which the president presented to INEC during his nomination process last year. And she also stated further that she was not even a staff of the institution until 19 years after the certificate was forged. So are we saying that the president's documents or the president's dossier is getting messier? What does this spell for the president at this time?
Esther, the chicken has come home to roost now. You can see that I have told you here that the so-called strategy and wisdom and intelligence of Tinubu have come crashing. All the things he has been telling Nigerians over the years, you can see the result now. You can see that this is not only a national embarrassment, it has become an international embarrassment. I told you last week that this lady that they told us sign that certificate is going to sue Tinubu. I told you. And thank God, what I said has come to pass. Because if I were in her shoes, I would do the same thing. Because you cannot be too clever every time. I have told you that one of the reasons why this thing has gotten out of Nigeria is because we Nigerians, we have surrendered we are too docile. our courts, so our journalists, so our human rights, we have been too docile. We don't follow people bumper to bumper to find out what they're telling us.
Mr. Darlington, when you say we have been too docile, in what sense, please? I need you to explain that.
In the sense that it is we who allow this to get as far as the United States. If not, it will have been settled here.
Well, according to the INEC Electoral Act, it is only those, possibly the candidates, for example, the presidential candidates of these political parties, are the ones who can actually file a case against this. I think there was an amendment of that. We had this conversation, I think, last week during the political spotlight, last week, Sunday. But when it is not something that the media can verify to ask questions. But digging further, we saw what Gani Fayemi did, late Gani Fayemi did at the time he dug further, and you saw how they were able to cover it up. So go ahead.
So that cover up is what has brought us this shame. Every Nigerian should be ashamed now. Because that is the number one image maker of Nigeria. Number one image maker. And we are telling investors to come into Nigeria. With what has happened now, how can they come? Esther, how can they come? Who are they going to discuss it? Have you seen why this thing is most embarrassing? A court in the United States is doing for us what our court here should have done all this while. There are so many losses concerning Tinubu which nobody bothered to take care of. Nobody. All these lives would have been taken care of because it was obvious. This female gender that appeared in that, why didn't our court insist on it? And if Tinubu cannot give us a very good answer, then we can disqualify him.
All right, Mr. Darlington, for this particular Nora Daniel, it's been almost a month that this particular case has been in the U.S. court since Atiku Abubakar filed at the time asking the school to release the academic records of the president. Nora Daniel's name had come up on several occasions. Even when the school themselves said they couldn't authenticate the validity of that particular document, or rather the certificate, his academic records, her name was mentioned. We saw the president file several appeals mentioning the name of Nora Daniel. It was even proposed that she was the one that made a mistake on the president's academic record at the time, possibly because it was, manually imputed. So the question is, why is she coming out now to give her expression? Why hasn't she come out all this while that it was in the news, all this while that it was in the court, to clear her name?
Mary, when it comes to law, there are processes. When it comes to legal matters, especially when you are going to court, there are processes. The lady was waiting for this time. You need to hear what she said. She said she was waiting for the court, the university, to release those records to Atiku. She cannot obtain a copy. That is it now. As of now, those copies are not available to anybody. You need it as evidence if you are going to court that your name has been messed up. And the court will say, what name? Where is the evidence? It is not enough to say it in the media. That is what the lady was waiting for. And that is what we should have taken care of here. But we never did. So nobody should query that lady. Why is she coming up now? She was waiting. Over there are processes. You don't just go to court on hearsay.
All right, Mr. Darlington.
She's waiting for those documents.
Mr. Darlington, the next question is, so who actually signed the president's CSU certificate? If Nora Daniel is saying that she never saw any name like that, if she's also saying that she came into that institution 17 years after the acclaimed time that the president said that particular certificate was tendered to him, who signed his certificate? If Nora Daniel is saying that she doesn't know and has never come across any name Tinubu, then whose name or whose document or whose identity is the president referring to? And why is the school not divulging the real details of things themselves? I mean, to clear their name too, if at all there is anything underhanded play.
That is where the suspicion of forgery has come in. That is where the suspicion of forgery has come into this matter. Because the two men that signed that certificate, they were not even in that university at the time this thing was done. And this is why I told you last week that every suspected criminal always leaves a trace. They cannot be too clever. Any criminal lawyer who look closely to any criminal matter will find a loophole which the criminal did not think of. And that is what is happening here now. All the names that signed those certificates, Tinubu never reckoned that they will come up in 2023. And that was what happened. Apparently, they wanted to do it in such a way that those people, because they were not available, they were not there, therefore nobody will remember their name. It is not enough. Any lawyer, the first thing a lawyer looks at whenever he has a man, is to study the document given to him. He will look at the date, look at the names, look at the circumstances, whether they tally. That was what Atiku's lawyer discovered.
All right, Mr. Darlington, do you think it's because of this? Do you think this is the reason why the president said that anything concerning divulging, if the school divulges his academic records, that there will be irreparable harm against him? Could this be one of the things he meant by making that statement?
Well, you cannot eat your cake and have it too. Esther, I just need irreparable damage. If it were the other way around, I know what Tinubu would have done. He would have done worse things. So what is irreparable damage? Tell me. You mean he was not conversant to what was done for him, or he didn't know what he was doing?
Now, wow, where is Reno Omokri? Please come and sit near me. Hey, the level of this one is a monumental disgrace, the highest disgrace a country will take, happening to the president of a country. Hey, where are the people who are supposed to check these things before it gets out? That means anybody can forward document to INEC and get nominated or get involved in political race. Oh my God. Have you people heard of the latest? The person who allegedly signed the certificate for your Mr. President denies signing it. In fact, he is suing them. She's suing them. The person is waiting for Atiku, the school to forward the documents to Atiku as required by the US court. Now, afterwards, the person is suing Tinubu. They said she signed that, but she came to Chicago State University only 19 years after that was signed. How comes her signature was appended there? So she's suing because a lot of people have accused her that she's involved in scam, this and that. She is suing your president. That is how the Wahala has reached. You know what it means? Apart from just suing the president, this is the disgrace of the century. I can't believe it. The chicken has come home to roost. If all our bodies, our setup here had been doing their work well, it wouldn't have gotten to this intercontinental disgrace. Can you imagine? Now, Justice Adorado, the other lady who ruled on that Atiku should be, still based on the earlier judgment that the university should forward the document to Atiku. She said Tinubu should not come with that matter to her court again, that it lacks merit. And by this evening, I think that the documents have been released. But prior to the release of this document, the lady who was alleged to have signed said she only joined the university 19 years after. This one, we don't know about this one. And we even have to consult David Hunde's Twitter. Let's see what is happening there. Oh my, I can't believe my eyes. This is, we were expecting to see something else. This one is oh my God. Can he attend meeting where other presidents, legitimate presidents are sitting? Hey. Oh yeah, you are shocked. I am shocked as well. It's a disgrace to all of us. But now APC people share and pass. And there is what the lady said, though I couldn't play the rest of the video to you due to certain reasons. She said, okay, the guy that was called in, or the guy that was called on the show, he said the president Tinubu could be declared a persona non grata in many countries because of this particular thing. Because somebody was asking, what about the implications of this? What will be the implications? She could sue Tinubu and she could escalate it, and it could get to a point many countries will see him as an illegitimate president. It's not just what the Supreme Court will do here, because we don't trust them, they can do anything. But several countries can decide to say, this guy cannot enter, he is not the legitimate president, he did not meet the criteria. These things and these things are among the things that are considered for somebody to become president. And look at monumental intercontinental disgrace. There's a saying that goes like this: you can fool one person 1,000 times, but you cannot fool 1,000 people all the time. Something like that. Smartness has failed totally. You mention on this, you cover up. You mention on this, you cover up. You mention on the other one, you cover up. This time around, this is a big disgrace. And the best thing for somebody like that is to honorably resign. Viewers, what do you think? Add your comment right now. This is a trending discussion. Please share this video widely. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more updates. Bye bye for now.